Hello, I'm Kelly Reidenbach with the Ohio House of Representatives. Today I'm talking briefly with State Representative Tim Derickson of the 53rd House District, which includes portions of Butler County. Representative Derickson chaired the Workforce Development Study Committee and recently introduced House Bills 1 and 2, which helped Ohio's unemployed workers. Representative, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's start off talking a little bit about workforce development and your role as chairman of the House Workforce Development Study Committee last General Assembly.
I'd love to talk about that.
Great.
It's a great subject. It's a subject, really, frankly, that we have put off for too long, really, in this state. It was a subject matter that Speaker Batchelder brought to us and suggested that we do a little research across the state. So we held hearings. We held 6 hearings around the state, one kind of in each quarter of the state and 2 here in Columbus. We heard from 85 different witnesses, 20 hours of testimony, and we really learned a lot about the workforce development system and what works as well as what's not working so well. And really it was a result of that we've seen some changes here in Columbus, around the state, frankly, on workforce development programs.
What was the biggest thing you learned from those committees? What came out of your hearings?
Well, what we learned is that there are a lot of agencies and a lot of programs that are very effective in the state. The problem was that very few of these communicate with one another, and there was a lot of duplication of effort. So it wasn't so much that we found folks not doing a good job. It was just a duplication of effort. And it was in that recognition that we found we could really improve on the delivery of workforce development programs.
Transitioning into this GA, you've sponsored a couple bills on workforce development, one of them being House Bill 1, centering around the one-stops. Can you explain to the viewers a little bit about what House Bill 1 does and what exactly a one-stop is?
Sure. A one-stop is an agency located within a county here in Ohio. There's actually 91 stops, so there's one in every county, 2 in 2 of the larger counties here in the state, and they provide job placement as well as case management like services for folks who are transitioning into new jobs, who are unemployed, looking for a job. The services that they offer really are rather broad, as simple as helping folks prepare a resume, how to interview, to actually finding jobs that are available for them to fit their skill set. So what's nice about the one-stops is that there are, like I said, there's one in every county, so folks don't really have to travel too far to obtain those kind of services.
So what specifically does House Bill 1 do to these one-stops, and does it change them at all? It does change them. The obvious change will be the name out front of our one-stops. Like I said, there's 90 of them across the state, and they're governed by a board, and it's a regional thing, the way these boards work. There's actually 20 different boards across the state, and each board has their own name. In my home county, it's Workforce 1, whereas in other counties, it's something else. And what we're going to do with what House Bill 1 proposes to do is to change the name of that one-stop, in my case, Workforce 1, to be OhioMeansJobs, Butler County. So what we'll find, assuming this bill passes, is that all the one-stops throughout the state, all 90 of them, will be titled OhioMeansJobs, the county name. So it will create a network that is more recognizable than what we have now throughout the state. And the purpose of that, we're not looking just to change names for the sake of changing names, because there's a cost involved with changing names and getting new signs. But we hope to accomplish or to be a little more visible and obvious to both unemployed folks or folks looking for a job, as well as the business community. Because what we've recognized is that folks looking for a job, as well as businesses, they're not isolated. They should not be in a silo, really. And to look outside of maybe your given county, if you're looking for a job, is appropriate, because you can't always find a job that local. Even though we would hope that we could, that's not always the case. So it'll be obvious when one person is looking for a job outside of their home county, they just look for the next OhioMeansJobs whatever county name that is, and they could find that location much easier by the change of signage. The other change is a little more internal. We are asking all these one-stops to utilize a common system of job placement as well as case management. That system is OhioMeansJobs.com. So most of the counties in the state now, 73 actually, of the 88 counties are already using OhioMeansJobs.com as their job placement tool, their search engine. So there are very few counties that are really going to have to make a change, but some obviously are going to have to do that. But that's part of House Bill 1 as well.
Well, Ohio Means Jobs sounds like a great resource for the state. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the viewers as far as that program goes?
Well, what's going to happen with this bill is, or actually with House Bill 2, when folks register for OhioMeansJobs.com, they will receive emails from us weekly from that particular search engine, letting them know of jobs that they're qualified for. So they will still have to take the initiative, folks who are receiving unemployment insurance, to look for a job, but we will also, or that search engine, that job placement tool will actually help them by providing jobs that are actually available in their region or in their area for them to apply for.
Great. Well, Ohio Means Jobs also relates to House Bill 2. Can you share with us a little bit more what is included in House Bill 2 and how that will help Ohio's unemployed as well?
Yeah, kind of like I was saying, folks, before they receive uninsured unemployment benefits, they must register with OhioMeansJobs.com. So that's kind of step one. We will, in turn, like I say, provide them with job openings on a weekly basis. If they don't find a job within 8 weeks, the bill will require those folks to check in with and have a face-to-face meeting, much like we are, with someone in that one-stop location, someone who is trained, whose job it is to help someone find a job, whether they're unemployed or just really looking to change jobs. But the folks who actually staff those offices, they're employment folks who are there to help. And that's their job. So what we're trying to do, or what we will do with House Bill 2, is direct or steer our unemployed Ohioans into those offices if they're not able to find a job within 8 weeks, so that there could be, like I say, a one-on-one discussion. During that time, the folks who work there will help identify skill sets that this unemployed people are not, or what they have to offer, and help them kind of direct to an industry or jobs that are available. The goal is to get them employed and get them employed as quick as we can, and we think that will help step up that process.
Well, Representative, we certainly appreciate all the work you're doing to get Ohioans back to work, and thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Thank you, Kelly.
To learn more about this topic, please visit OhioMeansJobs.com or contact Representative Derickson's office. His contact information is located at the bottom of the screen. I'm Kelly Reidenbach. Thank you for joining us.